guys, welcome back to yet another episode of the Make It Easy podcast. In case you're new here, my name is Shalomeni and I'll be your host. This is Make It Easy podcast, a platform or a podcast I created with the sole aim of just making us look at life from a more positive angle and just having conversations that change our way of thinking and make this journey for life an easier one and a doable one too, of course, embracing conversations that feel like a hard nut to crack, just trying to simplify every matter that we go through or that is about life. Yep, and just looking at life from a more positive angle, living a happy that lead to living a happy and fulfilling life. Yeah, so this is episode 10, the episode finale of season 1, and I couldn't be more excited. Like, in retrospect now, I'm just so happy I started this. And as I was thinking of what better topic to talk about as we wind up the first season, I just decided to just take a time of reflection and encourage someone who is afraid to step out or who is afraid to show up, because I mean, we think about all the uncertainty and all the hurdles that we think we find on the way. I am here to talk to that person and you who has already shown up and who has already stepped out of the comfort zone. So I remember for the longest time, I think the beginning of this year, January, I've always admired or I've always wanted to start a podcast. I was like, starting a podcast, a lot of work. Like, how do you even start a podcast? From, like, it all need to make sense to me. And I remember I was telling this friend of mine, so it was part of what I want to achieve by the end of the year. But it's those things that you write and you're like, let me just write. I'm thinking about it, so I mean, there's a God in heaven, so let me just write it. I'm sure starting a podcast is something very demanding, something I cannot really do, but let me just write it. So I remember I was telling my friend, I had not told anyone about it, but around mid this year, I was telling a friend of mine the way I want to start a podcast, but I'm not really sure, and I'm feeling so uncertain, like of all the demand it's going to put on me, the content, like where is the content going to come from? I just don't want to sit here in front of a camera and just talk things that don't make sense. Content, well, I knew I had structured content for like 3-4 episodes, but then I was like, after 4th episode, and then what will I be telling guys? Will I just shut down the YouTube channel? Will I just go silent? Or will I just start giving people content that I like, that they don't really won't really appreciate my content? The fear of just putting myself out to people, like allowing people to just have, well, I mean, everyone always has something to say about you, but I mean, when you put yourself when you publicly put yourself in a platform such as YouTube, you expose yourself to any kind of backlash, or I mean any social media handle basically. But I feel YouTube is a bit more, well, according to me, you're a bit more exposed. Yeah, so I was like, will I really handle if people don't like the bad comments? Will I really? Of course, not everyone will like my kind of content, not everyone will like me. Will I really handle that? And it was so uncertain, and I was like, you know what, I don't think I am ready to do this. I know I feel like I have the first, second, third episode figured out, but I don't think I'm ready to do this. But I mean, that friend of mine was like, you know what, Shalom, just start with whatever you have. Start with your phone. I was like, no, I want to go all out. I want to go big. I'm sure I shared this story, I think in the 3rd episode when I was talking about showing up. And I was like, you know what, I want to go all out. I want to start with a whole production team. And that friend of mine is looking at me like, you don't have to do all that. Just start small. And eventually I listened and I started episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. And right now, I'm 10 episodes in, and in retrospect, I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful that I took that bold step of actually coming out of that shell, of actually trying this, because I wouldn't have known how far. Well, I mean, even not that I'm planning to stop now that I have done 10 episodes, but even if I plan to, or even if I decide to, at least I'll know doing a podcast is something that I have in me. It's not something that I really struggle to what will I say, it's something that is just natural. At least I know even if I stop, it won't be because I did not know what to say, or I did not have an episode planned out. It's because of many other reasons, of which I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to stop this. But the reason I'm telling you that is to encourage someone who is yet to start something. Can be a business, can be a podcast, can be whatever it is. And you're like, you know what, you're like, you don't feel you have the capacity, you don't feel like you are confident enough, or you have the means to start whatever it is you want to start. I mean, of course, everyone has grand and big ideas of things that they want to do, things that they want to achieve, but sometimes you don't have to start at that big and grand moment, because I know that is what stops most of us. Because we're like, if I don't start like massive, if I don't start big, if I don't hit the headlines, if people won't be talking about my business, or people won't be talking about my whatever idea you have, then I have not made it. And I think that is one thing that was really so loud in my mind. Like I wanted to make a statement. I wanted to, well, not in a proud or boastful way, but I just wanted in line with what I have seen, or people that I look up to. I wanted to match up to whatever it is to match up to their standards rather. Yeah. And I was reading somewhere, I think a post I saw on Instagram, that the people you admire, they once started somewhere. They didn't just wake up and they're like, the most successful, or the most influential business person, or the most successful business owner, or blah blah blah. They didn't start there. It was a process. They didn't have to wake up and everyone is admiring them and they have this successful business. No. They gave into a process, and sometimes this is what most of us, especially young people, we don't really understand. We think that overnight success is a thing. I mean, there is something like overnight success, but for you to actually for you to be proud, or for you to hold with sentimental value that thing that you have built, it will have to take years, it will have to take months. Well, I'm not saying that you have to take 10 years for you to build that empire, for you to build that business, for you to establish that brand. No. There are ways that you can use for you to, of course, do it quicker, having mentors and role models. But what I'm saying is that most of us are so much after quick successes that you don't want to give into a process. You want to give into a process of starting from uko chini. You just want to start at the top, remain at the top, never leave the top. It does not go that way. And then we need to realize that we have to give into a process. That is when we'll start seeing the labor of our fruits. Who does not want to be recognized? Who does not want to be applauded when they do something? Who does not want recognition rather? But all this comes with a price. All this comes with you have to give into a process. And now in retrospect, I am so happy that I showed up. Remember episode 3 about showing up? I'm so happy that I showed up, and showing up does not mean that I was not afraid. Showing up does not mean that I was so confident in whatever. I was in my mind, I was like, oh my god, someone will just make one rude or one very bad comment and this will be the end of me. This will be how I will shut down this YouTube channel, and you guys will never hear from Make It Easy again. From Shalom you will, but Make It Easy, no. I'll close down everything. I still am fearful. I won't say that I have gained all the confidence it takes. I have not gained all the confidence it takes, or all the thick skin, or all the grit. Well, I think I have, compared to how I started when I was starting episode 1. But I still am fearful. I'm still afraid of, what if whatever I have planned for season 2, because I have been preempting of how season 2 is going to be great. But what if what I have planned for season 2 does not work out great? What if I end up, just making it worse, or just making it not easy, So I do have that fear. Even now I am fearful, but don't let that fear stop you from coming out of your shell. Don't let that fear stop you from becoming the person who God ordained you to be. You remember I was giving an example in episode 3 still, about when God giving you a gift, he does not give it to everyone. Like he does not give you an idea, he does not give you this one unique idea and then he confirms it, or he gives every other person. He gives you that idea because he knows you'll be the best steward, or you'll be the best person to accomplish that thing. So you not doing it, or you being afraid, is just you telling God that, you know what, God, I don't think I'm the best person. And sometimes you want people to validate that which you want to do, and if people don't validate it, you're like, if my friend, if my sister, if my brother, my mother, whoever, my best friend does not think that this is a good idea, then this is not really a good idea, And we seek validation from everywhere, and we forget that God giving you that unique idea is just God's way of validating you. It's just God's way of telling you, go ahead, I have released you, go and do it, go ye and just go and do it, And of course we are going to be fearful, we are going to feel afraid, but that is where God comes in. That is where, because he cannot give you an idea that he knows that God cannot set you up to fail. Like God cannot just sit down and he's like, you know what, I want to give this person this idea because I know this person won't do it to their maximum best, or this person is just going to fail. I'm setting him up for failure. God does not do that. God does not set us up for failure. So the minute you realize, like, you have this idea, you have this thing that you want to accomplish so bad, but then you feel very inadequate in terms of resources, in terms of just your confidence, and then you feel like that is enough reason for you to not go ahead with it. Go, move, just do it regardless. Do it even when you're afraid, because being afraid does not stop. I'm not saying that being afraid will stop. It will continue to be there, but with each and every step you continue making, with each and every progress you keep on making, then it stops becoming the bigger picture. It stops becoming the thing that you focus on. And I know right now that we are only a few days from ending 2023. We feel like we had these different business ideas, or we had these just great ideas of what we want to have achieved, or things that we want to have started, and then 2023 is almost over. You have not done anything and you feel so angry at yourself and you feel like you're such a failure. I would like to remind you, so in the good book there is a story of some guys who were fishing all night. They were fishing all night. Like they stayed up all night trying to fish, but they didn't catch any fish. Like all night they stayed there, nothing. Just they are casting their nets in, they are getting nothing. And then Jesus happened to be there, and Jesus told these guys, after they have stayed there the whole night, they have stayed there, and these guys now they have already given up. Like, oh my God, there's no fish here, let's just go home, there's no fish. And Jesus, what does Jesus tell these guys? Cast your net one more time. And these guys are like, Jesus, do you know we've been here the whole night and we have caught no fish? But Jesus very simply just tells them to cast their net one more time. Well, these guys are like, okay, let's just do this, because this guy's Jesus, let's just do this. But at the back of their mind, they're like, we've been here the whole night, we have not gotten anything. What will make us catch fish right now that we put the net now? But because Jesus who said, let's do it, and the guys do it, and they caught so much fish that their nets were breaking, that they had to call people to come and help them to put the fish back in the boat. Anyway, the point I'm trying to bring home is that try it one more time, just like Jesus told these guys to just cast their net one more time. I am telling you to try it one more time. Just try it one more time, and this time just don't do it blindly. Do it with faith. Do it with just do it with faith. Just don't do it because just do it because whatever will be motive. But just this time do it with faith. Do it with faith, and you'll be as happy as those guys who are who got so many fish their nets are breaking. And as I wind up, this is a reminder to each and every one of us that God has given, or God has placed in us different abilities, different gifts, different talents, and sometimes we might not feel like we have come to an awareness of what that is. Sometimes it can feel so confusing that you're like, what am I supposed to? Is this what I'm called to do? Is this my calling? Is this my ability? The word of God, the good book, says that your gift will make you directions. So do not despise that gift. Do not despise that ability simply because it feels so rare, or it feels like this is something that I've had people who have a talent in singing, I've had people who have a talent in dancing or whatever, but is this really a talent? Is this really something worth to be called a talent? It is. It actually is. So do not despise your abilities, do not despise your talents, and do not despise your ideas, because it feels like so out of the world. God gave you that idea because He knows you're the best person to actualize that idea, to actualize that plan, whatever it is you have been thinking or contemplating about. Yeah, so that is it for today. See you in season 2. We'll be taking a tiny break, but we'll be back next year with great conversations and different people to help us dive into different conversation and make them easy for us. So that was it for today. Hope you have a great week. Make sure you subscribe, share, comment, and if you missed any of the episodes, we'll leave them down here and you get to watch and learn. See you next time.